Welcome to Skeptical Scott and Friends, unholy conversations with decent people. Please join us as we drop the supernatural, embrace the rational, and believe in as many true things as possible. Listeners, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as Fred Rogers would say. The sun is out, the weather's warmer, and today we get to talk to our neighbors, Jeff Brooks and Jason Freer from Ontario, Canada. I'm next door in Michigan, so as neighbors, we decided to meet today, not in the duty-free zone, though that would be great, but instead in the deity-free zone, which is awesome. I know we have listeners both in Michigan and Ontario. My ultimate question to everybody listening right now is, what are you doing on the weekend of Friday, August 21st? I know where I'm going to be. It's BAHACON. Yes, it looks like bacon, maybe even the maple kind. But no, this is called BAHACON. Our guests will tell us all about it. Please welcome to the show, Jeff Brooks and Jason Freer. Hey, guys.
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Hey, that was quite the introduction, right? Anything to correct? Anything to add?
Amazing. Amazing. I feel special.
Hey, you should feel special. And so, Jeff, we're actually going to start with you today. Where are you at? And how would you say you're arriving today? Like, how you feeling?
Yeah, so I'm in a little town called Forest, Ontario. I'm about 30 minutes outside of Sarnia, about 35 minutes from the Michigan border. I got a Caesar in my hand, and I'm feeling excellent.
That's fantastic. You said a Caesar in your hand.
For our American listeners, a Caesar is like a Bloody Mary, only better. So instead of using tomato juice, it has clamato, which is tomato juice with like clam juice.
Ooh.
So nothing is better than drinking a clam.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to giving that a try for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jason, I contacted you months ago with, hey, when are the tickets on sale, right? Even though it was right on the advertisement in front of my face.
Yep.
You graciously answered the question. Well, it's open now, but first, Jason, same for you. Where are you arriving from today?
I am from an even smaller town than Jeff. I'm in Blenheim, Ontario, and I'm about an hour outside of Sarnia.
Okay.
And I'm feeling fantastic.
Good. You might have an H2O in your hand. I don't know, right?
I actually do have an H2O in my hand, yes.
Hey, Jason, especially for our listeners today who they don't know what we're talking about, what's BAHACON? What is it?
BAHACON is a conference for free thinkers and humanists, atheists and agnostics. Happens in Sarnia every August.
And what does it stand for, the letters BAHACON? Jeff, you take that one.
Sure. Yes. For Blue Water, Atheist, Humanist, and Agnostics. So it's the Baja Conference. We call it Blue Water because the area of Sarnia is known as Blue Water Country. When you come across the bridge and you look down at the lake and the river, you'll understand why. It's beautiful water around Sarnia, right on that border between Michigan and Ontario.
I happen to have a tattoo on my calf with all the Great Lakes, and then I got a little logo of the Blue Water Bridge.
There you go.
That is a special bridge for me now because, Jeff, we really are neighbors. We're like 15 minutes from each other when I'm at my summer place. So I'm looking forward to running into Foodland or whatever, wherever you go for your groceries.
Yeah, that's where we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also understand there's a club in the winter for what's that sport? That's in the Olympics. It's in the Winter Olympics.
Oh, curling.
The curling club. I saw the signs.
Big curling club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
big curling.
Do you do that?
I do not. I do not do curling. I know a lot of people that do, but it is not my sport of choice. But yes, it is a very popular thing here in Canada. Curling and hockey. So there's less fights in curling than hockey.
Well, I'll tell you what though, there was a recent fight in curling.
There have been fights. I'm not saying there's none. There's less fight.
All right.
Yes.
No teeth knocked out, hopefully. And butter tarts. There are butter tarts too, which is like my wife's favorite. Cause I wish I was a Canadian where at least I'd know I'm for, I don't know if you know that song at all.
Sure do.
Okay.
Sure do.
I won't keep
Absolutely.
singing. I won't keep singing, but Jeff, what year is this for BAHACON?
This will be the 5th BAHACon that we've had. I've had the pleasure of being at all 5. The first year I was there as an audience member, just came for some fellowship and some community. And then year 2 to now, I've been on the board and have been helping to organize it. And this will be my 4th year as the MC for BAHACon.
Oh, that's fantastic. And
yeah,
I'm about to mention a special person for both of you, and that would be Bob.
That's right. Yep.
Jason, just tell us a little bit, I guess, where this all came from.
Yeah, sure. Bob was our group president, since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He was the main driver behind the creation of BAHACon. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I never met him, of course, but we were Facebook friends, and I've more heard of him. You know, when you guys think of Bob, what are some adjectives you think of?
Friendly.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yep. Dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just to sit down and chat with Bob. He had quite a life, and some of the things that he had done throughout his life were very inspirational, and certainly he lived life to the fullest. Mm-hmm. And when he knew he was dying last year, he had said, to me that he didn't want people to feel bad that he was gone because he has had an amazing life, and if only everyone could have lived a life as well as he did.
Wow. Great way that you're continuing his legacy here.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard from a lot of people that say that BAHACon is like the perfect conference for a first experience at a free thinking conference. Why do you guys think people say that?
A couple of things that I think make BAHACon really special is the sense of community. Mm-hmm. So it's not a conference where we sit around for 2 days and beat up on religion. That's not what we're there for. We're there to build a sense of community, to learn and get educated. We bring in speakers with a variety of topics and expertise. And those speakers are available to the people that are attending throughout the weekend. So it's not one of those conferences where you see a speaker for an hour, they leave, and then you never hear from them again. So they're sitting with you at the tables. They're mingling with you in the room. The last day we do a boat cruise. They're on the boat cruise with you, and you can go up and you can talk to, Eugenie Scott, or you can talk to Boris Valkai and, have a conversation with them. And I think that makes it really special. We really do focus on that, the conversation and that sense of let's just have a family reunion and have that sense of community. So if it's your first time to Baja, you will be a friend on the first day. You'll be family by the second day.
You really put the humanist in there. As your buddy Steve Jacatis would say,
Yeah.
We're all in this boat together.
Yeah.
We better figure it out.
Yeah.
So let's learn from each other. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Jason, anything to add?
Yeah, just that it is amazing. Everybody is so gracious, so loving, so happy to see everybody else. It is very much like a family reunion. The second year you come back, you're like, oh my goodness, you're back. It's so good to see you, and you get hugs, and you're going to absolutely love it.
Well, there are a lot of people coming from all over, right? I mean, we're talking as neighbors
Absolutely.
right now, but where are some of the places that you already know they're coming from?
California, Oklahoma, Ohio, Illinois, here in Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Indiana, Texas. Is this Texas already? They're everywhere. There's so many.
Yeah, British Columbia, Nunavut, which for those that aren't familiar with Canadian geography, Nunavut is quite a bit north. It's one of the territories in Canada. So there's a wide range of places people come from.
And our longest travelers have come from Italy.
This is an international experience, Jason. This is Italy.
Yeah. And you'll be able to pick them out because on the name badges that people have, we have a special ribbon for anyone that is come over 1,000 miles. So if you're in over the 1,000-mile club, which is different than the Mile High Club, if you're more than 1,000 miles, you have a special ribbon on your thing, so we can identify people that have come for a great distance, which is 1,600 kilometers. I argued it should be 1,600 kilometers, being as we're in Canada, but it's 1,000 miles. So
you're very welcoming for our guests that have struggles with the metric system. Hey, so I'm sure this has come up, especially lately, for people who are concerned about the border, right? I mean, literally, probably from the conference, you can see Michigan. Like, we're really close to the border there. What should people know, do you think?
There's really no issue coming into the country. You'll get greeted with open arms pretty much, like we're Canadian, right? So to cross the border, you need, well, if you're driving across, you just need an enhanced driver's license, something with your picture, right?
Yep. An enhanced ID usually is available on states like Michigan, for example. So those of you who are in the middle of the United States, you might have not heard enhanced ID before. And that, in that case, you might need a passport. But, you can do the research on that. Those kind of rules have already existed. But I think there's a special kind of fear, timely fear. Jeff, anything you would want to say about that?
I would say don't worry. Like as Jason said, we're Canadians, man. We love everybody. So, I mean, you go through Canada Customs like you do any other time, but it's pretty easy to get across. Say enhanced driver's license if you have it. Nexus card is another good one, or a passport. It's pretty easy. And once you cross the border, the conference is literally 5 minutes from the Blue Water Bridge. To your point, you can see the hotel from the bridge. Like, we're right there. So you're not coming far into Canada. We've never had anyone have a problem. In fact, Seth Andrews, who spoke last year and will be speaking again this year, said was just some of the easiest experiences he's had at a border crossing.
BAHACON manages to avoid a lot of the conference traps, and I do a lot of this. They don't overschedule. They know exactly how much breathing room you need between breaks. They don't do workshops that conflict with each other so people have to choose. I want to hear both, but I can't. They feed everyone. They've got plenty of social time where you can connect. They've got plenty of time where the speakers and the attendees can engage, make friends, take pictures, swap stories, encourage each other. It's one of those weird combinations where it's organized and it's structured, but it's relaxed and it's easy and it's fun. And that's a tough balance to pull off. BAHACON does it extremely well.
As somebody who travels back and forth quite a bit, I guess I got this from a church. Acronym FEAR, fear, false evidence appearing real, right? It's easy to see the news and think, oh my gosh, I might get stuck on the way back in or whatever. I probably crossed the border 10 times last year and didn't have a problem at all. It's just proper planning. There's just this sense of peace in Canada. So if you're looking to escape for a little bit anyway, I mean, it can't go wrong there. But thanks for addressing that, because I think that makes people wonder sometimes. All right. So for a first time attender, what can they expect? You've already kind of talked the family atmosphere, but I want to hear just a little bit more as they've arrived.
First thing when they get here, I guess, if you're staying at the hotel, which we suggest you do because of our discounted rate that we have, you get yourself checked in. Friday, most of the board of directors will be around all day Friday setting up stuff. So you can come down to where the venue is. We introduce yourself. Registration opens up later in the day, and then that's when you get your bag of goodies and your name badge.
There's goodies, guys. There's goodies.
Oh, there's goodies. Friday, we basically start off with our VIP dinner. Mm-hmm. Right? So sit down for a fantastic meal if you're into the whole VIP experience, of course.
What do you feel like BAHACON does a little differently than maybe some other conferences? And I've only been to one conference, so I have a limited experience, and I loved my conference that I was at, but I would just be curious about any differences that you've heard the speakers talk about or you've heard participants mention.
Sure. A couple things I think is your ticket. Like if you're there for the Saturday, Sunday, includes your breakfast. For Saturday, Sunday, we put on a really nice breakfast, like a hot breakfast, not just some muffins and stuff. We have hot breakfast with bacon and sausage and all the good stuff.
The maple kind?
Whatever you like. We can, well, absolutely. We have a lunch on the Saturday that's all included in the package. The total experience, as Jason mentioned, on the Friday night, you have the VIP dinner, which is a sit-down dinner served. One thing that makes us very unique is on the Sunday, after the last speaker, we all wander down to the waterfront. We hop on a cruise boat and we do a 3-hour cruise on the St. Clair River. And For those that aren't familiar with the area, the St. Clair River is the river that divides Canada and the United States. So we kind of sail between the two for 3 hours. And the speakers are on board with us, and we have a luncheon on board. And there's a bar on the boat, so you can get a drink while you're there.
And it's a beautiful time of year to be on the river.
It's a wonderful, we've been very lucky every year. We've had really good weather, and it's just a really neat time to talk to people you hadn't seen before, talk to the speakers. They're on the boat. They can't, unless they jump overboard, they can't get away from you, which is kind of nice. I think that's a really unique experience that we have. And it's a really good sense of kind of community and fellowship. I will say, though, for those that are interested in that, and I'm hoping people are, because it's certainly one of our favorite things is the boat cruise. We do have a limit into how many people the boat will hold. So if that is something that interests you, then you need to get online and order your early bird tickets and get your tickets to make sure that there's a spot on the boat. We're limited to about 150 people on the boat. So once we sell more tickets than that, the boat won't be available. So
I got mine. I'm ready. That's awesome, guys. Well, you hear the music? There's the music. It's time. It's time for the Skeptic of the Show.
We think it's real important to question what you know. So before you leave the podcast, it's the Skeptic of the Show.
I actually have a few quotes for you, Jason and Jeff, and they all come from the same person. And if you think you know it, buzz in and say, I got to guess. Okay, so here we go. Quote number 1, asking why there are still apes is like asking why there are still Europeans if Americans exist. Quote number 2, being loud isn't the same as being right. Number 3, science changes its mind when there's new evidence. That's not a weakness. That's the whole point. One clue I'm going to give you is that this person is not the same gender as us.
I have a guess.
yeah.
Jason has a guess. What do you think, Jason?
It's Erica Gutsit Gibbon.
You got it. Erica Gutsit Gibbon. Excellent job. And so she is one of the featured speakers. And one thing I noticed about the speaking lineup, I love the diversity of topics. And I wish I was better at science. I'm not super smart in that, but I more and more every passing year appreciate science more and more. And so I love that we're going to have so many topics there. Anything you guys want to say about who's coming and what the topics might be?
Sure. We have a pretty good list, and we have some new people and some returnees. I'll start off with throwing out David Fitzgerald. Yeah. David Fitzgerald is returning. He was here a few years ago. I've had the pleasure of knowing him through Baja and knowing him outside of Baja. And just a super nice person on top of being super smart. Written some really good books. And if you have any questions or thoughts on the New Testament, he's like, a New Testament scholar that is just, a joy to talk to and just a wealth of information. So really glad that David's coming back.
David has the best book title ever. I mean, he has a couple books or a few, but Jesus Mything in Action. I mean, that's the dad joke in me. I don't know, but I love the mything in action. I've used that.
Yeah.
So thank you. Jason, who's somebody else?
We have Hassan Sinai coming this year, who is an Iranian-born atheist raised in Canada.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting conversation, I think, with him.
Oh, I love it. And of course, Erica Gutsit Gibbon, science communicator, debunked pseudoscience. There's a couple other science people. Who are some of the other science topics?
Yeah, we have Forrest Valkai coming back.
Conferences like this are so incredibly necessary and so incredibly helpful. The biggest thing that the atheist community is always lacking is community. And so having a place like this where people can come together and just get to know each other and feel like they're not crazy and not feel alone anymore, that's so monumentally important. So I love this conference. It's one of my favorite conferences that I do. Everybody here is so friendly and so cool and so kind and so nice and so just happy to be out of the house and be around people of their own kind. I love that so much. So the overall vibe of the conference is just a genuinely positive one.
If you haven't had an opportunity to see Forrest Valkai speak live, it's a sight to behold. He puts on such an amazing presentation and such a brilliant communicator, and again, super, super nice guy. When I was chatting with him last year, he was telling me how he gets hired to teach in high schools in Oklahoma because some of the science teachers in Oklahoma don't know science. So they'll bring him in to do specialized science stuff. On one hand, it makes me sad that we have science teachers that don't understand it.
The bar is so low.
But
right?
it makes me hopeful that they recognize that and are bringing in someone that knows what they're talking about. And
especially the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And, Forrest, from what I understand, the performance he does, like on TikTok, and who he is in real life are pretty similar. He's got tons of energy. And I know Seth Andrews has mentioned that. He's like, hey, we got Forrest over here, and then it's just me, Seth, over here. Well, Seth, of course, is engaging as well. The voice, the golden voice. I mean, that's
yes.
I can't wait to see Seth again as well.
Yes, someone on our website once described him as honey-coated thunder. His voice as honey-coated thunder, but and every year he comes, he does just a very engaging and different speech, and just has, for a lot of these speakers, you can hear a pin drop in the room. Like, they're just so engaging and entertaining.
One thing that the previous conference that I went to, I mean, again, I loved the experience, but there were a couple times where I'm like, shoot, I have to make a choice on who I'm going to go see. What would you say to that, Jason, as far as the setup?
We're going to see one speaker after another with a short break in between. There's no choices to be made. Unless you don't want to see somebody, you can just walk out of the room.
Go in the lobby.
Yeah,
or wherever,
that's right. Yeah.
So I love that we all can experience that together, which is great. And of course, Melanie Tracek King also has a book coming out, a very needed topic.
Yes.
Right now.
Misinformation, yes. Yeah.
How to spot it.
Before you click on a website, you want to know if it's trustworthy. But how can you tell? The good news is spotting deceptive websites is easier than you might think.
I'm really looking forward to her. You guys, there's a lot of others too.
Yeah, we have Andrew Seidel. We have Timmy Gibson coming. We have Dan Barker coming back. Eugenie Scott is coming this year for the first time.
I want to say she's an anthropologist or something like that.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes. That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. We were just talking about public schools and science.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be saying some stuff about that. Yeah.
Evolution is a necessary
Keeping it out of school. Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And of course, when you said Dan Barker, I mean, been around forever, right? Freedom from Religion Foundation, musician, author. No illusions.
Yeah.
No illusions of the Scathing Atheist, which I know Noah and Seth are going to be doing a couple of things together this year. So how great that they continue that together. You guys got an incredible list here.
Dan Barker is a very interesting person to talk to as well, because he comes from, very fundamentalist religion. He was a preacher. Like he went from being that fundamentalist preacher, fire and brimstone, to, I don't think this stuff is true. Really just shows you that as much as we think sometimes people are just too far gone and, we're not going to change people's minds. There's an example of someone who was very religious and very much involved in that and, changed his mind. So it's important, to remember that everybody out there, if you can get them to think, then they can come up with different conclusions.
It is planting seeds. Rarely does it happen that someone goes, oh gosh, now I see your point. I've changed. Like it works on you. And, that includes pastors and ex-pastors, like Timmy Gibson, for example, right? What I saw on his stuff is that, he used to speak in tongues and all that kind of stuff too. So I haven't really asked about your backgrounds. Jason, from what I understand, you weren't super religious growing up.
Never religious at all. No.
Jeff, how about you? I'm not familiar with yours.
I was never, I wouldn't say terribly religious. Growing up, my father was atheist always. My mother was in the United Church of Canada, which is a little different than what you see in the United Church in the States. So the United Church in Canada is very Christian light. I've always been okay with gay marriage. They're okay with transgender issues. In fact, in the city where I was born and raised, we had one of the churches had a transgender minister back in the 80s, and it was never a concern.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So very, very progressive that way, but still Christian. So I would go on Sundays to church with mom, as we did. But for me, it was really more of a social event because I had friends that went to church.
Yeah. Go where your friends are.
And one of them is still like my best friend ever. And he lives in Florida now. And his father was actually the minister. So I wouldn't say I was really terribly religious. I don't know that I really thought about it much, and then once I really got into science, and I ended up moving into a job in healthcare later on. But science in high school, you just kind of really start to realize this stuff doesn't even make sense, right? So, and that was kind of, I wouldn't say it was deconversion, because I don't think I was ever really converted, but it certainly brought the light on to say, I'm not really buying this. So
it clarified for you.
Yeah. Exactly. Although I still find the Bible to be a very interesting work of literature, just like I find, the Odyssey and the Iliad, right, to be very good, interesting books of literature. I just see them as mythology, like all the other mythological books, not to be taken as literal, that's all, and not to be taken seriously, but certainly interesting in looking at our past history.
What an interesting couple words right there of literature and literal. I'm just going to guess, you don't have to say, but I'm going to guess both of you have scratched your heads a little bit as you watch us over the river, in terms of what's going on here. And so how great that you're creating a place for us angsty Americans that actually it's a big deal sometimes with deconverting, etc. Where I'm guessing in Canada, it's just not that big of a topic. I mean, there's certainly areas, maybe. How would you describe it to somebody who's never been?
I have never been asked what my religion is or where I went to church.
What about billboards?
Very rarely. And if you see one, it's normally small and on a privately owned farm.
Usually like the anti-abortion or anti-assistance in dying, those kind of billboards that come up. But Canada is certainly more secular than the United States, without question. And religion isn't, it isn't something that's really you wouldn't have a problem, I don't think. Well, you wouldn't being elected in Canada as an atheist or as a humanist. It's not something, I couldn't tell you what the religious affiliation of our politicians are. It's just not something that comes up. We have a Supreme Court as well, much like the United States. We have 9 justices, just exactly like the United States. I couldn't tell you if they lean left or right, because it's not a political thing. They typically follow the interpretation of the law, not their opinions, religious or otherwise. So it's a different atmosphere.
Do you know how refreshing that is to hear? So if we piqued your interest at all, y'all, even if you're like, well, I just want to see what it's like in Canada, let alone this conference, hey, come on over. I mean, you can step 5 minutes in and be with people. Yeah. I kind of appreciate too that this is not I don't know how to say it, echo chamber. It's not a hate on religion kind of atmosphere. It's nothing like that.
Not at all.
How would you describe it?
It's very much just a learning experience. We don't get speakers to come and, knock down religion. It's for us, it's really low hanging fruit, right? Everybody knows it's there.
That's a great way to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
We're there to learn, to make new friends, to build community.
We're here to exhale.
Yeah.
And just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes people are wearing a mask or always having to kind of code switch based on who they're with. Yeah. And here's a place where you can just say, hey, be yourself.
I have some very good friends that believe that Noah's Ark actually happened and believe that the earth is 5,000 years old. We don't agree on those things, but it doesn't mean that I don't like them as people. Everyone should be free to believe what they want as long as they don't use those beliefs to impact other people and try to make them believe what they believe, right? So I have no problem with religion in that regard, or belief, certainly. Religion is a bit different because it becomes more of a business and a way to make money from people that in some cases can't afford it.
Well, and to your point, Jeff, what you said earlier about, I don't even know the religion of my government leaders. That's why I think it becomes so angsty here in the States, is because I've actually been asked before, why don't you just leave people alone and let them believe what they want? That would be great if that's all we could do. Mm-hmm. The thing is, though, is that when people use their beliefs to make decisions that impact all of us, and so now I am talking political leaders and Christian nationalism and all of that, we can't help but running into consequences
of
those beliefs.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about BAHACON?
I'll add that we do not do stadium seating. So we do round tables so that we can commune. We can talk to each other around the table while listening, make new friends, make acquaintance. Hey, where are you from? What brings you here? Who are you here to see?
And you could be introverted too.
Absolutely.
It's going to be okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would guess probably close to half of my Facebook friends, and I don't have a ton of Facebook friends, are people I've met at BAHACON.
Oh, wow.
Close to half, because we know we have common interests, some common beliefs. We don't agree on everything either. There's a lot of atheists that believe things I don't believe in too, and vice versa, right? So, but
Right.
there's people that have come every year that have become good friends of mine that I see once a year at Baja. So it really is that sense of community and, coming back and being welcomed.
We don't have to believe the same things to have similar values. And that's what I think is uniting the people at BAHACON,
Yes.
is that, hey, we value humanity. We value being able to enjoy somebody's company and really bring out the best in people.
Yeah.
A lot of people say least harm. And I'm also thinking, what can we do to cheer people on as well?
And I think the reason that we're able to have BAHACON continue after losing Bob is, we have such a good board. The people on our board are just, spectacular. I have to give a shout out, of course, to Suzanne and Melanie, who are the people that you'll meet at registration, who are on our board.
Excellent.
We have to talk nice about them because Jason and I are connected to one of them each. And if we don't talk nice, we'll be in trouble. We have Danny and we have Joe that are just dedicated. And if something comes up and there's a job that needs to be done, like, people just do it. And because of that, we have a very successful conference, and this year will be no different.
All right. Well, listeners, at the time of this being launched, it is May 15th. So is there anything else you want our listeners to know?
I can tell you that the early bird tickets are going to end on May the 29th. So if you want a guaranteed spot on the boat for Sunday, get your ticket.
Get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're not talking Noah's Ark. Get on the BAHACON boat.
That's right.
It's time. You guys heard my last episode about the first atheist conference I was at. If you've ever thought of going to one, this is an awfully good one to try.
Yep.
So I hope to see you there. Let me know if you're going to go. So send me an email at heyskepticalscott@gmail.com. I'll buy you a drink. All right. Or at least we can, have a coffee over the hot breakfast buffet that you'll be providing, guys.
There you are.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Skeptical Scott and Friends. Find our link tree and more at skepticalscott.com. Drop the supernatural, embrace the rational, believe in as many true things as possible. See you at least every first and third Friday. May skeptical thoughts be with you. Cheers.